Okay, today we are playing a game on Hollywood. We are in the Gold SR range, and we will be playing about a third of the game as Moira and about 2/3 of the game as Zenyatta. And also a little bit of Lucio at the very end of the game, but I do mean a little bit of Lucio. We're also on the console today, so consider yourself forewarned. Current team composition is Reinhardt, Hammond, Hanzo, May, Lucio, and Moira. So hopefully they don't have a Pharah, because we'll be pretty upset about that one. We do at least have Hanzo, who can try, but if they got a Pharah, we'll be upset. Reinhardt Hammond also isn't a very typical combination of tanks. I do recommend thinking of Hammond as an off-tank unless you're in like a coordinated setting or a very high SR, so this is the comp I'd recommend. Like, if you're going to play Hammond, this is basically how I'd recommend playing him, but worth also saying it's not as good as like Reinhardt Zarya or like Winston Diva, you know, something to that effect. It's not one of the typical combinations of tanks. Anyway, let's start the game. So, as we can see, Hammond is currently up to no good. He's got some very big dreams right there. And, you know, if they got crowd control over there, they got like a roadhog, that boy's fucked. But he got away with it, so I guess, you know, it's all fine. Is this the highest quality we can be on? This, apparently we're on 720. Didn't really look like 720. I guess the bitrate's not that high. It's fine. Whatever. So, a lot of our teammates, mostly Hammond, if I'm to be more honest with you. Hammond is doing a lot of overextending. We're actually completely out of resource right now. Yes, we've just been holding down left click over the entire team right here. Hammond is not that hurt. No, Hammond is pretty close to full health, it looks like. I'm having trouble seeing his bar, to be perfectly honest with you. We didn't need to hold it down as long as we did right there. We also don't need to hold it down right now. That guy's full health. So we've been holding this down longer than we need to right here. I could understand like putting the regen on this guy. We don't need to like fully hold it over him though. And so we're just basically out of resource right now, right at the start, within the first 30 seconds of the game, because we've just been holding down the spray longer than we needed to, and now we're in the difficult position of being in the middle of a fight, having to try and refill our resource. We could be refilling our resource right now. There's people exposed over on the left-hand side. I'm pointing with my finger like a dumbass, because, you know, that's very helpful. There's people over here we can be giving the suck to, and then we're refilling our resource. Instead, we're just, like, sucking this here bubble, which is not getting us anything, unfortunately. But we are in this position because we did a bad job of managing our resource right at the start. We did manage to get a little bit back off the suck right there, but this is pretty much the worst position you can find yourself in as Moira. No resource, and also don't have coalescence built up yet. That was a little bit scary. It's okay, we're fine. So now, our team started losing a lot of ground. We're pretty fucked, to be honest with you, already. Like, this fight's already not looking good. Don't fade like this is a very dangerous fade to make, because we faded closer to where the enemy team, like, the enemy team's side of the map, which is usually not good. We're also not looking good to win this fight to begin with, so I really don't want to fade aggressively to begin with. I'd rather fade backwards than forwards at that point. It's hard to say how much of it was directly our fault for running out of resource, but some of it was, because our team had very poor sustain during the middle of that fight, but also Hammond was up to some shit right at the start as well, which makes things difficult. Not great geometry, because we're trying to throw this to heal people on the point, but it's going to bounce off the car. So a better angle to go for is, go back a little bit to when we actually threw it, that might be helpful. Because we want this to bounce around and stay around our team as much as possible, and we're in a little bit of an unfortunate position to do that, but if we take just like a slight step to the right now, we could instead throw it at the wall adjacent to this doorway, and then it would bounce back and forth between the point at least once more, if we angle it right, because it'll bounce off there, come back to the building we're in, and then at that point, it's at the whims of the physics engine, but by that point, it'll have done 2 bounces across the point, which is about as much as you can reasonably expect, usually, as Moira. Instead, it bounces off the limousine and then goes off into fuck knows where, basically. But simultaneously, we lost this fight regardless, so, you know. We do have Coalescence built up now, so that's cool, you know, it's nice to have your ultimate ready to go. Hopefully our team doesn't stagger themselves too much while we're coming back, you know. We have to expect at least some amount of staggering, because that's just life, tragically, you know. But hopefully they don't do it too much. Gotta have realistic expectations. They'll definitely do some staggering. Hopefully they just don't do it the entire checkpoint. I like that. Winston's like, fuck, I've been found. Because he's just standing at the edge like, alright, time to wait and bide my time. Oh no, she knows. Quickly, back, disappear. He'll be back shortly, though. Didn't need to fade right here. We're very vulnerable when fade's on cooldown. I get the we were probably trying to fade up to this guy that was in danger. Just general thing. Don't fade up to people that are in critical health. Because... unless you, like, know what you're fading into. Because usually when somebody's at critical health, something had to happen to that person to put them in critical health. So a lot of the time you'll be fading closer to the danger, and now you don't have fade to get away from the danger again. And as you climb higher and higher, people get better and better at punishing you for using fade badly, because that's when you are at your most vulnerable by far. So be careful of fading towards people to heal them, because you gotta know that the danger isn't lurking basically right there. Just a general thing, pretty much. Don't fade forward unless you know what's going on. So, we do have Coalescence. I wouldn't have been opposed to just, like, using Coalescence, around here, basically, because this is when our team is, like, gonna go forward and pick a fight at this point. Half our team's kind of already in by this point. Now I don't want to as much, because 2 people on our team are dead. However, the rest of our teammates still feel inclined that they would like to go forward and fight, even though this is currently 4v6, which we don't really want any part of. That's nothing short of miraculous we survived that one, to be honest with you. Oh, I'm sorry, someone's complaining very vocally right now, so I have to go back and listen to how it started. Okay, this is fucking retarded. This is easy, guys. You just gotta counter Junkrat. Who knows the counter to Junkrat? What is the counter to Junkrat? What do you want me to do? Oh, Jesus Christ, that guy's mic's fucked up. Everybody's got some very interesting ideas about what's going on, about what to do about the Junkrat situation. I'm sorry, there was a very large period of dead air in there, but I was just so transfixed by this. The person's voice is oddly hypnotic in a droning sort of way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I was just transfixed for a while. It wasn't like active complaining, but I was still just like, oh, someone's not happy with what's going on right now, but they don't know what to do about the situation. They've identified a problem, but they don't know what to do about it, which is always the issue, isn't it? People are very good at identifying a problem exists because, well, we're losing, so obviously something's wrong. Alright, hold on. What's the problem? Pushes tab. Do we have 222? Okay, we have 222. That wasn't the problem. Whew, that was a close one. Team composition's fine, even though we've got Roadhog's Zarya. That's not the problem. Alright, let's look at the enemy team. Does it feel like we're dying? Obviously it does, because we're dying, right? We're losing. So let's see. Let's look at the enemy team. They've got 2 DPS, right? One of those DPS is the problem. Which one does more damage? That one does more damage. I found the problem, guys. It's Junkrat. That's usually the process people seem to go down. And then do they have any productive to go at that point? No, they just go, well, what are we gonna do about it, you know? Well, are you gonna do anything about it? So what are we going to do about it, is often how Overwatch seems to go. So, you know, I understand why we've used Coalescence now. I'm just still not happy to have done it, to be honest with you, because we're currently fighting inside our own fucking spawn hallway over the, right? We did get an unfortunate situation, because they've captured the checkpoint and now they're just fighting us in the hallway over here. Do we need to hold it down that much? Not really. We could have stopped a little bit sooner. Like now. Nah, Junkrat just hit Reinhardt as well, so I guess it's fine still. Meh. Meh. I'm mostly just... I can't listen to these people anymore. I'm gonna just sit and listen to them for the rest of the video. I'm gonna have to turn the volume off, because I can't... I hate listening to people complain when they have nothing productive to say, basically. Which, I mean, is the essence of complaining, isn't it? But I just get so angry listening to them, basically. Anyway, alright, so we've almost built Coalescence up again. This, you know, it's good. This is a pretty good point to have Coalescence on, because for the most part, it's kind of one long hallway. Junkrat's up to no good right now. We've stepped on the trap, but he didn't notice. It's fine. Oh, shit. He did notice us right there. I mean, I'd do it as well, especially since Reinhardt just used Earth Shatter over here, so we definitely want to use Coalescence right now. Junkrat just, however, bangs us real good with his combo, so he ends up killing us real quick, like, which is... unfortunate. I would have also done Coalescence. Basically, the thing to say about it is, like, we did start doing it right next to the enemy DPS, who does a lot of burst damage, so, you know, we could have, moved away first to try and prevent any risk of this happening, basically. I went back to see if we used the orb before we threw the, before we started using Coalescence, just to have a little thing to complain about, but it's fine. Our orb was already on cooldown. So now we're at the point where we just have to touch the objective, which, you know, is not the great position to be in. We are currently healing the enemy team, which is not a great use of company resources. Winston's all up in our grill. Junkrat uses a tire. Oh god, everything's terrible right now. She's gonna touch it. She's touching it. Are we gonna get back for the second touch of our time? No, no touching, no touching. Okay. So, now we've entered the Zenyatta half of the game. That Moira section didn't go very well. I'm going to risk turning the sound back on again to see if we're less complaining on the second round, basically. No, it doesn't sound like it. We'll be a little optimistic, though. You know, I know, me and optimism don't really go along terribly well, but we'll try, we'll try. So everybody's agreed to go left. We take a little while to go left, just kind of shooting in the doorway at the top. Now we kind of have to catch up with them. Just looking at May's silhouette. I was just, to be honest with you, just looking at May's silhouette, like, she is so far ahead of everybody else, and then she just dies like that, because... who could have seen that one coming? It's not like she's going out there into the choke point by herself or anything. Gee, shocking turn of events right there. Okay, we put our Harmony Orb on someone. I was gonna complain. It's okay, we did it right as I was about to complain. Basically, we want our orb on someone always, you know, or as close to always as physically possible. Ryan's gone off an awkward way right there. Try to put the Discord orb on someone before you start doing the fucking Zenyatta constant charging thing. That sounded a little bit passive-aggressive, didn't it? Zenyatta players, in my opinion, always massively overvalue the charge shot, because sometimes you one-shot people from 1,000 miles away, and it feels really good when that happens. But they're always so fixated on charging up their attacks that, like, they end up being really slow to move their orbs to other people, and they end up being really low on ammo a lot of the time. So I find Zenyatta's will fixate on, like, the charge shot, to the detriment of all other aspects of gameplay. So, nah, it's a thing I like to argue about, basically. I try and put your orbs on someone first, at least, please, before doing that. Because that's the thing with Zenyatta. The Discord orb's really good, Transcendence is really good, right? We haven't had Discord orb on people as much as we could have during this period of time. Because there's been people in front of us we could have put it on, but we were charging at the time, so there's been a lot of not having Discord orb on someone. So this is a very bad way our team has chosen to go against this team composition, and we've committed to it for a very long period of time. Because the enemy team is, like, this guy's right in front of us. Please just left-click the guy, right? Like, okay, I understand right there, fair enough. Please don't start charging again right in front of this guy. Just click on him. Because, you know, if you're gonna right-click someone, you want to have time to build it up that you're not actively fighting someone. Like, you know, you're gonna peek a corner, okay, fair enough. You're tracking someone with your Discord orb through a wall or infrasight. You're gonna get them to come around the corner, fair enough. You're just kind of waiting during downtime, like, you can't really do anything more productive, like Genji's flipping around right in front of you with deflect going. You can't click the guy, so charge it up, okay. But, like, if there's a guy right in front of you, please just click on him. The right click's good burst damage, yeah, but for sustained damage, you're better off just left-clicking on someone. Please, if you're actively fighting someone, just left-click on them. Because, like, this guy's so close to dead, taking the time to charge it up just gave him longer to try and kill us. And if that burst shot wasn't a good shot, we fucking died right there. But we could just, like, click on him, and that would be fine. Well, I guess we're not clicking because we're on console, but you get the idea. I was partway through another thought right there, but got distracted by the thing that annoys me more. So our team was going a very bad way because we're trying to go through this very narrow passage right here into a Junkrat Bastion composition. And we had so much time to back out and just go the other way, but our team decided this was the way we're gonna go. So we're just going through this really narrow passage, and Junkrat's like, fucking sick. And Bastion's like, great, if they make it out that doorway through the Junkrat spam, they run into me, and then I get to finish them off. So it was a really bad way our team decided to go, and we could have changed gears sooner, but no, we just all died instead, so now we're gonna forcibly change gears instead. Even now, our teams are really far apart. Discord this man, he's out in the open. Like, we start charging, we could already see him before we started charging. Put the Discord orb on him first, at least, please. But again, he was right in front of us. Just start clicking on the guy instead. But yeah, no, he's dead before we're so committed. We fucking committed hard to this channel to the extent that he is dead before we even interacted with him. We could have put Discord up on that boy. We could have put Discord up on that boy. That's one of the really strong aspects of Zenyatta, is Discord orb is really fucking strong. Because, you know, damage boosts are pretty sick, but you know what the thing is? You can usually only put a damage boost on one person unless you're Orisa or ulting Mercy. Discord orb, however, everybody on your team gets the benefit. So really, really strong ability. We really want it on someone. We really want it on someone. It's on no one. It's on someone now, thank goodness. But now our Harmony orb's not on anybody. He always finds something to complain about. So now we've got our Discord orb on someone, that's good, but Harmony orb's on no one. So now that orb's getting no value instead, and we really want to have our orbs up as much as is physically possible. Discord orb, you know, you can't always see the enemy team, so you can't have that up 100% of the time. You can have Harmony orb up pretty close to 100% of the time. It's better on somebody than nobody. So, okay, we come around the corner, we found Mercy. Didn't manage to finish off Mercy, that's very unfortunate. She was right in front of us, but we just failed to kill her properly. Life is difficult sometimes. Oh no, everything's going wrong. Oh god, oh god, oh god. So our team, oh, there goes Luna Tiger. So, Luna Tiger, really? Back up. Hold on. That boy is really angry. Let me back right up, because it was about the guy disconnecting, so I gotta listen to this one. I fucking hate this game so much for people leaving, dude. I fucking want to strangle them. That's not even right, dude. That's not even cool. Thank you for leaving us. Thank you for fucking us. You're awesome, dude. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. He was an angry, angry man. Even though the guy could have just disconnected. I wasn't listening before that point because I just heard someone get angry. So, you know, obviously then I had to back up and listen. Maybe there was build up to that one. So here we go. We're going in. We're using Transcendence to go in, which is typically not a recommended maneuver, but it is what our team wanted us to do. So it is what we decided to do. Transcendence is not as good for engaging as Sound Barrier is. Never mind that guy. Alright, so anyway, Sound Barrier is way better for engaging than Transcendence is, but it's what our team wanted us to do, so we decided to go with it. Okay, whatever. Okay, there's, you know, a lot. Oh, look! He's joined the voice channel. He's coming back. Or is he coming back? Just saw the message that said he joined the voice channel. We'll see. Whatever. Here he comes. Here he comes. Nope, nope. He's coming. I saw him show up. He's coming. There he is. He's done it. Alright, he's back. Oh, look. We were angry for nothing. The guy that was angry before has gotten weirdly silent now for some reason. I wonder why. Anyway, so, I'm just listening to this one guy that's got a really certain idea of how you play Reinhardt, but of course he's not the one playing Reinhardt, but this one guy I'm listening to really wants to micromanage that Reinhardt a lot, to the extent where I'm like, why are you not playing Reinhardt if you know everything about that hero, huh? Anyway, I hate people so much. Oh my god, this is some of the worst communication I've ever heard in my time, I swear to god. So we're trying to get this Bastion right now. We're not good at doing this. Oh my god, I have to turn them off. It's all I'm going to listen to again. This is some of the worst communication I've ever heard in my life. Oh my god. Doesn't help that they just have, like, pretty grating voices, to be honest with you. But I'm getting angry just listening to these people. This is why I don't join the voice chat. See, I'm not even a part of this game, and I'm just sitting here getting angry listening to them. Anyway. It's fine. We're winning. We're getting there. It's good. All's well. The timeline's not very long, so, you know... Harmony Orb not currently on anybody. Efficiency fell off. Fell off? Really? Oh, because she fades. Okay, so Harmony Orb fell off. Nobody, not on anybody right now. Very bad, very bad. This is also a scary place to stand as Zenyatta, because, I mean... If we're standing, like, behind the payload, that's a little bit better. The basic thing I'm going for is, like, we aren't near much we can really use as cover other than the payload. So as soon as somebody comes up on the payload, we have nowhere we can get to cover. The enemy team haven't been super dive heavy up until this point. There's been a lot of, like, us playing with Bastion in the backline. So we can stand further back, and it'll be fine. will be safer, because then this guy's got to come further to get to us. So rather than standing all the way up there, we could be standing more like back towards this direction. Then we can use like the bar as cover. We can go in there, we can use all this stuff as cover. Whereas if we're standing over here, our options for cover are the payload and then like this alleyway, but Wrecking Ball just comes right up to us. So we've got nothing over here that we can realistically use as cover. So that means when Wrecking Ball decides he's going to go on us, what are we going to do? Somebody's going to need to help us to survive, basically, at that point. So we got to think about what we're going to use as cover, right? And sometimes the payload is good enough, particularly depending on the payload. Like, Rialto's a terrible map, but it's got one of the best payloads to hide behind in the entire game, because it's a giant fucking block, right? So it gives really good cover as far as payloads go. Dorado also has a really good payload for cover. The Hollywood payload is not very good to use for cover. So you want to try and be near something else that you can use as cover, ideally. If it's just like Reinhardt's there on the point as well, great, Reinhardt's there, you use Reinhardt as cover. If not, you gotta try and find some geometry to use. Always be thinking like, what can I use as cover if I need to, right? And sometimes just saying, hey, Reinhardt, the payload, is good enough. Not always, though, so try and think about what you can use as cover. Basically think like, every now and then think, if I get into trouble right now, what can I do? Where is safe? How easy is it for me to get to safety? Because that's usually the thing people run into a problem with, especially with, like, really immobile heroes. That sucks. Get trapped right as the bomb rolls towards you. Especially with really immobile heroes. People will be positioning really far up. So then, when they're playing like Ana Zenyatta, they're really far up, someone jumps on them, they have to go like fucking 50 feet back to get to safety, and by the time they get there, because they just have to walk there, by the time they get there, they're already dead. You gotta think like, if I get into trouble, what do I do? And sometimes you say, hey, my teammates will be good enough, I can get to my teammates, cool, awesome. So, you know, depending on, not always the great idea though. Don't amp it up coming out of the gate. I'm never a fan of that, because amp it up is a really important cooldown for Lucio, because his healing is trash without amp it up, and they're nerfing his speed boost without amp it up as well, correct? They were doing something to Lucio, I can't remember the exact intricacies of it right now. Basically, they wanted him to be more like Stanky, is what I remember. Anyway, so amp it up's a really important cooldown. It's got 12 seconds, that's a very long cooldown. That's one of the longer cooldowns in the game. So just using it to get out of the gate, it gets you there like a second or two faster. Which sometimes is important if you're in like overtime, sometimes it matters. Situation like this, not really game breaker if we get here a second or two faster. And like, you can usually just get there fast enough by doing wall jumps instead, like... And then, like, when you get to the fight, you'll have amp it up if you just do wall jumps and all that instead. Where if you amp it up to get there faster, you get there a little bit faster, but now you don't have amp it up when you arrive, so you're significantly less good when you actually return to the fight. So we have amp it up right now, hey, you know, we can amp up the healing on these people, that's really good, that's very helpful. Things are a little bit, suboptimal over here outside of that, but... getting to the fight with amp it up is a big difference to getting it back to the fight without amp it up. And this is like such a short walk back as well that like using amp it up on the speed boost, it doesn't even gain us like a second probably over just wall jumping and all that. So we haven't got a lot of time left. We've got one fight left, one push left. This is honestly a terrible situation because even if we get it there now, we're definitely going to get it there in overtime. So we aren't going to get the extension because they've gotten there with more than a minute on the clock. So things look bleak regardless of us doing it or not, to be honest. But life is difficult sometimes like that. So Reinhardt dies right at the start of the fight. Also not ideal. Really? People still die? I was like... Soldier's using Tac Visor, but Zenyatta's using Trance. I guess he waited until Trance was mostly over before he started it. I didn't hear exactly when he started it. So it ends up managing to kill people anyway. Unfortunately, now Torbjorn's emptied his load all over the objective, which is very, very inconvenient. We touch it for but half a second, and then we get killed to the orb. Let's be real. things were not looking good for this team fight way in advance of that moment. Gotta watch out for Torbjorn's load, though. Torbjorn's payload, if you will. Anyway, we've got sound barrier now. We get back just in time to break it down. I think we broke it down on Diva's head, which is always very nice to do, but yeah, we're pretty fucked. Life is difficult, isn't it, sometimes? Oh, look, she got to use Gravitas. I gotta listen to the... Alright, I gotta listen to this real quick. Nothing. Surprising. Surprisingly little complaining is happening right now. Just in the quiet, most like stoner voice, I fucking hate this game so much for that shit. Between the DCs and the Smurfs, that was, and then it cut off. Yeah, this is called I Hate Smurfs. Who was the Smurf? Who do we think was the Smurf? None of those have Smurf levels. Because, I mean... Okay, so, like, two most likely candidates for Smurfs. These two, right? Because fucking gold, fucking silver and silver levels in gold and silver, they aren't the Smurfs. This guy isn't a Smurf. Theoretically a low enough level to still be a Smurf, but he's in silver at that level, so unlikely. So we got these two people, the most likely Smurf candidates. They're still like still like 100+ levels in gold. Seems a little unlikely. Who are they playing? Legnax and Vardo? Can we figure out who they were? When did we push tab? We probably didn't push tab a lot, did we? Oh, I think I saw something. Nope, that's the kill feed. Well, we can maybe see them. Who are they playing? This is not one of them. Because Junkrat is not one of those names that I determined as maybe a Smurf candidate. I just want to know who we're angry at. Okay, Legnax, they're the tanks. The two most likely Smurf candidates are the tanks. And I'm not saying the Smurfs... I'm not saying a tank can't carry a game, but I don't feel like the issue was we were getting smurfed on by the tank players, you know? I feel like the principal issue, based off what I was listening to and watching, is our teamwork is shit. And their teamwork wasn't shit. So it works out better for them in the end. That's what my working theory is on this one. I just want to see if the YouTube algorithm's all fucked up, basically, because it just ended so suddenly. What we got? No, this is all... What's this? UCF Professor Richard Quinn accuses class of cheating. That's pretty... you know, maybe I'll watch that one in a little bit. Maybe I'll watch that one in a minute. All this other stuff is fair enough. And maybe not. I don't know when that's has come from, but, you know, whatever. All that's fine. So, stuff that stood out the most. Honestly, I'm just so busy being angry at people that I can't remember properly. Let's see, we did a lot of charge, we did not good orb efficiency as Zenyatta. We also positioned, we weren't thinking about our positioning super carefully a lot. I didn't bring it up at the time, but I also just realized we did it that time that I was talking about, discording Bastion. We actually trekked all the way across the street in full view of Bastion, like fully like left to right in front of him. That's also really scary to do, because like right in front of an enemy teammate, or an enemy on the team, right? Bastion no less. We just slowly all the way across in front of him in an open street with no cover. That's also really scary to do. So positioning stuff, orb efficiency, resource management for Moira. Mostly like right at the start, we were not good with resource management. The Moira section overall was really short and stompy, so it's hard to know if that was going to be like a recurring issue, but right at the start our efficiency with our resource was really bad. And then Lucio, I got nothing productive to say about Lucio, to be perfectly honest with you, other than don't amp it up out of the gate, unless like it's overtime, I gotta get back like now. you know, kind of situation, basically. So that's what you got. Though, to be honest with you, real talk, reason we lost this game, our teamwork's shit, okay? Our teamwork was fucking awful. And, oh my god, some of the worst communication I've ever heard in my life. It was bad. So anyway, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord, ask questions more directly, have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 7 p.m. EST till 10 or 11 p.m. EST. Come by, have a good time. If you managed to make it all this way through the video and somehow enjoyed it, because this was a bad video, I'll be honest with you, it was a bad video. If you somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more middling content quality in the future. Fuck that part up real good as well. Great. And I hope you found the video helpful. What a disaster.